Hey everybody, it's Jesse. I'm back with you again today to talk about how to love yourself. The fact is, we live in a very stressful time, and in a time as stressful as this, everyone is full of anger and fear all the time. There's a lot of blame and finger pointing. Everyone hates everyone else, and it's all very stressful to live through. What we need to do if we want to heal the world, we first need to learn to love ourselves. Once we've learned to love ourselves, we can learn to love other people. But if we don't love ourselves, we cannot love other people, at least not in a healthy way. So today we're going to talk about how to love yourself in a healthy way, and I hope it will be helpful for you. The first rule of loving yourself is to love yourself unconditionally, without conditions. You don't start loving yourself after you've achieved something. You don't love yourself after you've become something else. You don't set yourself goals and say, I'll love myself when I thus and so. You love yourself as you are now. You love yourself completely without exception. You love yourself for your flaws. You love yourself for the mistakes that you've made and whatever bad things have happened to you. You love yourself because you are worthy of love. And sometimes that's really hard to believe. I understand this. And the world around us is so negative sometimes. There's all these people who don't want you to love yourself. And that's precisely why you must learn to love yourself, is because those people don't have your best interest at heart. And it's important for you to have your best interest at heart. And the first step to loving yourself unconditionally is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you've made in the past, whatever you've done. Forgive yourself. Don't keep blaming yourself for some dumb shit from decades ago. It's not important anymore. Your mistakes do not define you. The things that have happened in the past are in the past. And what you need to focus on now is getting from this moment to the future that you desire for yourself. So hold that future in your mind and let go of the past. Forgive yourself for the past. Say, self, I forgive you. And this probably sounds silly when I say it on this video, but it's so important for you to practice this. Forgiving yourself is the first step on your path to forgiving other people. And forgiving other people is the crucial step to moving on to an integrated life of balance. There's a good chance that you're surrounded by negative voices. Our world is filled with negative voices right now. They are inescapable. They are unavoidable. Every time you go on the internet, whether you check the news, you check your social media, you listen to the radio, it almost doesn't matter where you look. It's even in the books and the movies and the TV shows. There's all this hate and rage and blame, and everyone is pointing fingers at someone else. And there's a good chance that the people around you are pointing fingers at you. And you may have internalized this. People are showering you with their negativity because they themselves are filled with negativity. They feel hatred and shame and guilt and blame towards themselves, and rather than resolve that and try and deal with it, fix their lives and move on, instead they are taking that out on you. And you don't have to put up with that anymore. It's time for you to take control of your life. Once you have drawn a line in the sand, told people they can't treat you like that anymore, and begun to work towards what you want in your life, you will begin to achieve so much so quickly that you'll be really shocked because you are capable of so much more than you have ever realized. And maybe one time, decades ago, you suspected that you were capable of more, but then things happened. Maybe it didn't work out. Now is the time to go back to that because you still are capable of so much more than you've ever thought possible. But in order for you to achieve your true potential, you need to limit your exposure to negativity. Limit your exposure to the people and information sources that fill your mind with hate and rage and blame and shame 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether that's your friends or your spouse, or your social media feed, or the news sources that you read on the internet, or the television that you watch whenever you hit the power button on your screen, whether it's your favorite Netflix series or your favorite television news show. If it's making you angry and upset, then it's not helping you. There's a very small amount of information that you require to stay informed about the current events of the day, and anything beyond that very small amount is miring you in negativity. It makes you stressed and it does not inform you anymore because you already know what's going on. So you need to cut the cord, pull the plug, hit the power button, and tell people no. I will tell you that I personally use app timers to limit the amount of time that I spend on social media and online news sites, and I have found this indispensable. It's so helpful. It has really assisted my frame of mind as I try to turn around from a very dark space that I was in a while ago and try and return to living the sort of life that I believe I'm capable of. And I believe that you're capable of it too. So limiting your exposure to the incessant negativity, the blame and the hate that you see on the internet every single fucking day, it's so important. Get it out of your head and replace that with something more positive. So what are you going to replace it with? You could, for example, replace it with motivational podcasts. Those can be very good. You can replace it with simple information sources. That can be very good. I personally turned to self-help books, and I cannot tell you how many self-help books I've read in the last few years. But I have read a good number of self-help books in the past few years. And I feel like reading self-help books has helped me transform my own personal mentality from being mired in anger and shame to being filled with hope. And I'd like to share that sense of hope with you. And I highly recommend reading self-help books in order to achieve that, because that's what worked for me. Of course, it depends which books you read. They're not all as good as each other. And you don't have to finish reading ones that you don't like. And despite what some of the irritating people on the internet may try and tell you, you don't have to do all the exercises before you move on to the next book. Just keep reading it, because the purpose is to fill your mind with hope. And if you are in a hopeless place, then you need that hope. You need that hope. You don't need to do a bunch of exercises. You need hope. So, self help books are just one potential source of hope for you. A lot of people turn to religion or spirituality, whether that's the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or the Tao Te Ching or the Dhammapada, the Bhagavad Gita. Um, Whether or if you're a Wiccan, you may read books about the Green Witch and the modern neo pagan philosophies. If you are not a religious person, I recommend nature. Just go for a walk, look at some trees, enjoy the sunshine or the rain if it's raining, enjoy nature. Getting out into nature, regardless of your personal beliefs, is so healing for the spirit. You could read about physics. I've really been enjoying the works of Stephen Hawking over the summer, so give that a try as well. Fill your mind with positive messages, aspirational messages, hope. Fill your mind with the belief that you can turn your life around and do great things, because I believe that you can do great things no matter what has happened in the past. You're capable of so much more. I know there are a lot of people who say, well, you need to have some critics because they help keep you on the path. That may be true if you're a Fortune 500 CEO. If you're successful, then it's important to listen to the people who criticize you because they probably have some good information that'll help you be even more successful. But if you have not been successful, if you are mired in the mud of rage and blame and shame and hate, then listening to the critics is just gonna keep you there. At some point, if you're down at the bottom, you need to tell the critics to fuck off because they're not helping you. They're not trying to help you. They might claim that they're trying to help you, but it's a lie. They're not trying to help you. The critics are trying to keep you stuck so that you can't improve your life because that makes them feel better about themselves. It's important for you to recognize this. You need to begin to assert yourself. This is the path to loving yourself. It's the path to turning your life around. And it involves cutting certain people out of your life, out of your mind, and not letting them into your mental space anymore. They've taken up too much of your time already. So you need to instead fill your mind with messages of love and hope. Convince your mind that you're capable of doing so much more than you've ever done before. Your mind is more powerful than you may realize. I did a video some time ago about the placebo effect, and I believe that the placebo effect demonstrates that when we believe we're capable of doing things, that makes it more likely that we will achieve those things. If we believe that we're going to fail, then it makes it almost certain that we will fail. So it's important to believe that you're going to succeed. And once you begin to succeed, you'll find those successes pile on each other, and you will change your life possibly far more rapidly than you had thought possible. It's not easy. It is a slog. It takes work and it takes time. I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight, but it can happen. It can happen for you if you make it happen. You have to make the decision. You have to choose. Once you've made that choice, things will begin to change for you. The final thing that you need to do if you want to begin to love yourself is you need to learn to love other people. And in order to really have a loving relationship with the world, it's important to express that love. And I don't mean go around saying, I love you to people all the time. That's kind of fake. That's not what we're going for here. Instead, focus your mind on what you're grateful for. Focus your mind on what you're thankful for, because no matter how many things have gone wrong in your life, I am certain, even for you, some things have gone right. At some point in your life, someone has been kind to you. At some point in your life, things have been good for you. So, focus your mind on those things. Fill your heart with a sense of gratitude for everything that has ever been good in your life. And take a moment to look around at the world outside and find what is good about the world around you. Fill your mind and your heart and your soul with a sense of gratitude and thankfulness for everything that is good in the world around you right now. Maybe take up gratitude journaling. Write down something, just one thing, maybe three things, but just one thing every day. Write down what you're grateful for and transform your mindset. Practice kindness. This doesn't have to be anything extravagant. The important thing to remember is that acts of kindness are not intended to be reciprocal. You're being kind to someone else for the sake of being kind. Try anonymous kindness. Give something to someone without even letting them know that it was from you. Give without expecting anything in return. If you give someone something to someone, tell them to pay it forward. And if someone gives something to you, pay it forward. It's not about an exchange. If it's simple exchange, then we're bartering. That's not how kindness works. Kindness is to be paid forward. So when you perform true acts of kindness for another person, you're doing that for them. You're not doing it for you. And you will find that when you begin doing things for other people without expecting anything in return, that you will begin to feel better about yourself. You will begin to love yourself because you will begin to see how capable you are of kindness and good deeds and great things. And you'll be able to move on from there to great generosity and acts of service, acts of support and caring. And it may take some time, especially if you have a reputation to live down. But when people begin to notice that you are going out of your way to be kind, generous, caring to the people around you, not in a manipulative way, not expecting anything in return, but simply being kind for kindness' sake, then people will begin to be kind to you. You'll find yourself showered with love from all directions. Your whole life will be filled with love and light, and you'll find it so much easier to love yourself. So, this is my message to you today. Be good to yourself. Be good to the world around you. Don't expect things from the people who you're kind to. Simply be good for the sake of being a good person. And you will, over time, find that you begin to love yourself again. Begin to love yourself possibly for the first time. You can love yourself. And I hope that you will find the path to do that. I believe that you are capable of great things, and I hope that you find the path to achieving those great things in your life. So, best of luck to you. Please leave a comment. Let me know what it is that you're trying to live down right now. Let me know what it is that you aspire to right now. Let me know if you have any other thoughts about ways to turn your life around, and I will look forward to hearing your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I always say, and I will look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks very much. Have a great day.